you ask me strange questions sometimes that I don't know how to answer. And it makes me sound like I don't have feelings. But I do. I just don't know how to identify them sometimes.
That's fair. Sorry,
You've obviously thought about this a lot. I broke my pen.
You got that excited. All right, so I think yeah. All right. This is the danger of running a podcast with someone who is a storyteller.
You're just messing with me, I think.
No, not intentionally. Oh man, okay.
We're pretty good though at starting at the same time now, so we don't even really have to clap in, I don't think. But it's just sort of tradition to clap in.
It's a little more than tradition. It at least gives us a point that I use the clap in when I'm editing.
I do when we're synchronized, which is rare.
Yeah, all right. Well, good morning, Lindsay.
Hey, how you doing? How's your Saturday going so far?
It really hasn't moved.
No.
But I do have an important question for you, okay?
Oh, I love questions.
And this is one of those, you have a family and kids and a husband, and one of those, what do you do as a family, all right? So you have just had a birthday, or you've had some celebration where cake is involved. Okay?
I know where this is going.
Where's this going?
What we have for breakfast the next day.
That's right.
Everybody's allowed to eat cake the next day for breakfast because that way it's gone, so Mama doesn't eat it all later in the day. So, day after her birthday, you get to eat cake.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Melinda graduated with her master's in education yesterday.
Yay, Melinda! Woo!
I'll tell you what, it was awesome. I was, Adeline, my daughter, kept looking over and, Daddy, are you okay? Yes, go away, I'm crying.
That's cool.
I'm
Good.
happy.
Uh-huh.
But, so we had a celebration. We met my family, and my sister made a cake. And there's still some left, but it was this chocolate peanut butter. Oh my gosh, you could die just because it's amazing. So that was for breakfast this morning, and I was sitting here eating my slice of cake going, how many other people do cake for breakfast?
I would be shocked if this wasn't a thing. We should ask.
We're asking right now.
Yes.
But hey, we conveniently have, which you haven't joined yet, I created a group.
Oh. We have a group?
I sent you an invitation. We have a group on Facebook now. Yes.
I don't remember getting an invitation.
I sent you an invitation. I even sent you a text that said join the 42ers, and you laughed at me.
Oh, I didn't know it was a real invitation. I guess I didn't understand what I was looking at. I didn't get it. I thought the joke was 42ers, like, haha, look at my clever turn of phrase. 42ers.
No.
Okay.
No.
Now I understand. So we're in a group. We have a group.
No, you're not in the group anymore. I'm going to kick you out of the group kind of thing.
Darn it.
For the longest time, my mother was not friends with me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So when she finally did accept the friend request, I was like, no, I can't be friends with my mother, and unfriended her and made her mad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you are in that position. Fine. You don't get to be in our podcast group. But you better be here next Sunday or Saturday to help me host.
It was ignorance. I'm sorry. I thought you were being funny.
No. So that's actually a group that I haven't done much with it other than it's set up. And we need to build up and have some fun with it throughout this week. But Is cake for breakfast a legitimate option? Sounds like a great poll to put in there.
Who's in the group? Is it open? Can anybody join the group? I mean, do you have to ask permission to join the group, you know?
You do have to ask permission to join the group, but it's open to anyone. So part of the reason I have it as a private group is because I've seen, I think I said it was a private group, but with the church we've seen where we had a public group and it was just problematic. We had people who were, hey, there's this Amazon thing, and if you do this, just call, and it was, no, we don't want people scamming our congregation. So,
speaking of which, guess what happened to me this week?
You robbed the church van? Oh, wait, no.
Did I tell this story? So, I got a text that said that my package couldn't be delivered because, what did it say? Something about the address was wrong. And so you click the link to fix the situation. So I clicked the link and it asked for my address and things. And then it said, it's going to be $3 to correct the postage. And the website looked so real. It was from the U.S. Post Office. The colors were right. Everything looked right. And it didn't occur to me. I didn't even have a red flag until I put in my credit card information, clicked submit, and I realized that I did a bad thing.
Oh, no.
So later that day, we received some weird, small charges, like $20 and $30 on our account. And I realized what I did, put two and two together, told Colby, and he saved the day. And, we fixed the problem, but yeah, not one of my better moments.
Yeah. All right. So you want to feel a little bit of vindication, a little righteous justice because you got scammed this week. Okay. This just came out this week. You ever hear of Mark Rober?
Yeah.
He's the guy who does the glitter bombs.
No. What?
Okay. Go to YouTube, type in Mark Rober.
Okay.
All right. And he's got like a 30-minute video where he and a couple other guys go after scammers.
Oh, cool.
And they prank them. And they have this whole elaborate thing, and they are even doing a thing where they're trying to bring down one of these scam offices, and he explains it. But go watch Mark Rober.
Rober?
Okay.
R-O-B-E-R?
R-O-B... Yep.
Okay. Cool. I'll have to do that.
Yeah. Go do that, and just feel a little bit of vindication after you got scammed this week.
Okay. I have cool news.
What's the cool news?
I am going to be the librarian at my kids' school next year.
Nice. So you got a job.
Yeah. And the job, it pays in tuition, 20% of tuition getting knocked off, which is significant. Nice. Yes. So yeah. I am thrilled. It's kind of my dream job, and I didn't even have to go to school to do it. You have to go to school to be a real librarian. So this is I feel like I've gotten in through the back door, and I hope to have my claws in until I'm I want to be one of those 75-year-old librarians that they I want to be that librarian that's there forever. I'm so excited. So I get to read to the kids, and they come in they call it a special. So they have kindergarten up to 8th grade have specials, and they cycle in throughout the day in classes, and I read to them to each class a separate book. depending on their age. And I'm already collecting books and trying to figure out what I'm going to read, because I'll need a ton of books if I'm reading like 5 books a day to different kids. So I'm so excited, and we've finally officially decided. I've been going back and forth about this since November, about what the heck I'm going to do with my eldest next year, and he is going to this private school as well. I'm not homeschooling. So the decision is finally made, and it's a relief, because it's been a circus, and it's a relief to have that decision made. So
good.
I just have Miles at home with me. So, but that's my big news. So
hey,
yeah,
and that is big news. That's to be celebrated. So,
yeah. And I'm teaching a drama class, sort of, at this school. Like, it's like a club. It's a club. So it's not really a class. It's like a club for the month of May. So every Thursday for the month of May, I'm teaching this drama class, and like 17 kids signed up for it. It's totally bananas, and everybody loves it, and I feel so good. People have been complimenting me on it, and it's like, wow, this is really fun. So I'm teaching acting and theater and stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. I know. I'm like on a roll, so.
Oh, man. Lindsay.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, no, that's good. That is.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. So,
Your face. What is going on with the subtext here?
well, I'm debating, like, do I want to, like, pick on you for this a bit? Because, I mean, you're now a drama teacher. You're a drama llama.
Yeah.
Or do I want to pick on you for being a nerdy librarian? You've handed me a lot, and I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
These are great achievements. I'm the eternal instigator.
I'm giving you a lot of fodder.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's things to be proud of. I'm proud of you. These are good things.
Thanks.
So, good job. Good job.
Yay. Thank you.
Drama llama.
My father-in-law's calling me a drama queen already, so.
Yeah. Yeah, such is life.
Yeah.
But no, you'll have fun with it, though. And teaching kids skits is so much fun.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yep.
Especially when you give them, like, when we've done Youth Sunday, and we have a Youth Sunday coming up, and when we've put skits together, we don't always do the ones that are like, hey, here's the skit, and it's pre-canned, and here's the script. Mm-hmm. I'll sit down with the kids, and we'll build and design kind of what we want as a skit, and what's the objective of the skit, and it's been fun.
Cool.
We did one that was a last slice of pizza that was just, all of the kids were arguing why they should get the last slice, but we tied it in. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, so I'd have to look up what our end goal in it was, but it was neat, and it was something with the epistles, I think, and yeah, it was good.
Cool. That's awesome. I wrestled with whether I was going to teach dramas or skits, or but when 17 kids signed up, I realized I don't think I'm teaching skits. So I'm actually like going through a curriculum and doing like 4 lessons from this curriculum. So teaching about different skills that make you a good actor. So it's really, we're not going to do any skits. It's just actory stuff. It's kind of nice. I like it.
See, I would have broken them up into groups of 4, one group of 5, and been like, okay, you're going to write your own skit and incorporate the skills or something.
Good luck. Good luck. These kids are wild. 2nd and 3rd graders. It'd be like,
you realize what my job is.
2nd and 3rd graders, though. It's that
Chaos coordinator. Hello. Chaos coordinator. Youth ministry.
I don't think
Let's go crazy.
Well, I like it. We're doing good. They like it, so.
Well, good. And hey, you do you. That's the important thing. This is your gig. You don't need to do anything I do or compare or any of that. You do what you think is best for your group, because guess what? You're the one with feet on the ground. Yeah. Staring them in the eyeballs and knowing what they need.
They're like kittens. Very intelligent kittens.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, or Gremlins. Gremlins is another appropriate one. But in a loving sense. But all right. We're not talking about this today.
No. No. What are we talking today about?
I don't know. I thought you had a plan.
Oh, aren't we talking about like quantum theory or quilting or something? No.
So
Just
Star
kidding.
Wars. Fine. We're talking Star Wars.
Star Wars. And in particular...
Right. Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
A couple little bits and pieces, all right? This episode is coming out week of, all right? It's Monday morning that this episode is coming out to you. And this is Lindsay and I from a week in the past. And I really hope, well, no, I don't really hope. That's not the right way to phrase it. I'm just going to say spoiler warnings. We're going to talk about Star Wars theories that we think for Obi-Wan. And if we're right on any of this, holy smokes, the spoiler warning. I don't anticipate that I'm going to be right on anything, but...
Yeah.
But I definitely have some hopes that I want to see in the upcoming Obi-Wan series this week. So, Lindsay.
Yes.
Where are you at in Star Wars right now?
Well, I lost my book that I was reading, so, and I'm like 45 minutes from finishing this play, this like audio drama / book about Dooku and how he ends up leaving the Order, and it's really, really, really good. But my plan originally was to read up to the end of Return of the Sith. I mean, wait. What did I just say? Revenge of the Sith.
Return of the Jedi is episode 6.
I know, okay?
Revenge of the Sith.
I'm flustered, okay? Just shush. So
you're flustered at the beginning of a Star Wars conversation?
I'm multitasking. All
right, this podcast is over. I'm sorry, we're done.
Where
flustered in Star Wars.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out who this is directed by, who Obi-Wan is directed by. But yes, I was trying to read up to Revenge of the Sith, but that didn't happen. It's just not happening. So, that's where I am. But, so the Obi-Wan is directed by Deborah Chow, who also directed and wrote for The Mandalorian. And American Gods. And Better Call Saul. Let's see. Lost in Space? Did an episode for that.
Okay, so the TV.
Fear the Walking Dead. Interesting. So, cool. I'm excited that it's all directed by the same person, too. That's really interesting. Or, at least at the beginning. I mean, maybe they'll say... Maybe it will be directed by different episodes, just like,
We'll see. So, I'm not as worried about who is directing it.
I'm just curious. I'm not worried. Worried is a strong word, Robert. I'm just curious.
Okay.
Goodness sakes.
So, what are you hoping for and expecting out of Obi-Wan?
Well, I would really love any kind of screen time I can get with Darth Vader. Specifically his transition from being Anakin to being Darth Vader. I really love that time period. Like, how long did it take for... I mean, I've read the comics. I've read some of the comics about that time. The ones with, that you suggested. No, actually, it wasn't the ones you suggested. But it was where he has to hunt down some Jedi, and he sort of has to make these decisions, and you can see him processing through and sort of losing Anakin.
Is this for him to get his kyber crystal for the lightsaber?
Yeah. Yes. I loved that. What eye candy. I loved it. And I loved that visual. You told me about the visual where he's meditating, and it's sort of like this meta thing where he's envisioning himself, and he's like half burned
He's
up.
half the charred remains, and then forced limbs.
Yeah, forced limbs. But that's such a picture of the symbolism of what's going on in him anyway. So that's really interesting.
That's the brokenness.
And then you see those like little butterflies like flying around him like a moth. It looks like a moth or something. And there's just like this hope there. But so I love Obi-Wan, but I'm hoping I definitely want a lot of screen time for Darth Vader. And yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And for Obi-Wan, let's see, what do I want with Obi-Wan? Well, obviously, I mean, from the trailers, it looks like his whole job is going to be trying not to die from being hunted by the Inquisitors, who are manned by Darth Vader, supposedly. At least they were in the comics. So, actually, okay, can we discuss the Inquisitors?
All right, so let's pick a spot and let's camp in it for a bit. Do you want to talk Inquisitors?
Yes. Who are they? Because they say they're Jedi, or they were Jedi that went sort of bad, but they're really, really bad by the time we see them. So, what was that like? Where did they... Because, like, Order 66 happens. Where were those Jedi then? Were they, like, were they kind of already in the loop? Like, do we know where they... Tell me about the Inquisitors.
So, Inquisitors, we get some of their stories in the comics. Mm-hmm. And in the Vader series, you get the Grand Inquisitor's story, where he was actually one of the Jedi Temple Guard.
Yes. Okay, yes. I do remember that one.
Right. You get that in the comics, and I think you also get that in Rebels. But the piece that is missed in that is kind of, he was the bottom of the food chain in the Jedi Order. Yeah. Like, the implication that they're making is that the Jedi Guards, the Temple Guards, are kind of, yeah, you're a Jedi, but not really. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not the rock star Jedis. And that's kind of the implication out of who the Inquisitor are, is they're these, yeah, they're Jedis, but they're like the bottom of the rung within the structure of...
Is it because they were shady Jedi, and they couldn't be trusted to be out in the field? Or were they like squibs? Isn't it a squib in Harry Potter?
No, they have force powers. So you see that, where they do have some force powers, but it's not implied that they're as strong as... no, I don't want to use him. I am entirely blanking on everyone who was a knight and not a master at the moment. But, the knight being kind of the broadest category that the Jedi Order had.
Yeah.
So...
Interesting. So
they could do things. They were able to be effective Jedi. They just were kind of bottom tier. Yeah, we're Jedi, but not quite.
So I would love to know where were they all? Where were they all during Order 66? And how corrupt were they already? And why weren't they killed? Did they escape, or were these people already fairly corrupt, and obviously Palpatine had ears on the ground and knew?
So, you keep using this word, and I'm going to push back on it. The idea that they were corrupt. I don't think they were corrupt. At least how this plays out in my head. I don't think they were corrupt. But, like, for the Grand Inquisitor, the way I image it in my head, and they haven't done this in any of the canon as far as I know, but, we know he was a Jedi Temple Guard. So what I figure happened, and this is me filling in the story, is that when Anakin, pre-cyborg, with the 501st, goes and storms the temple, that who the Grand Inquisitor was, he just drops and runs. He doesn't stay and fight. He just drops and runs. And so there's this shame-fear cycle that he's lived in. And it's that gets exploited to, give him power, because power helps people move past trauma, but it creates an abuser instead of someone who is a leader. And that's where they got him from, and where they probably got the others from. Again, someone who has a shame-fear cycle, because maybe they did see what happened with Order 66, and instead of staying and fighting or joining resistances or finding a way to, hide but fight back, they just went into this shame-fear that got exploited and brought them into being an Inquisitor. That's how it plays out in my head. That's the kind of character that they've gotten.
Or like how they get child warriors in Africa in places. They make you do something bad to, they have you do something bad, and if you do it, you're kind of in, and now they own you. Like, they keep you by guilt, and now you're a part of this fraternity, and your friends are going to reject you because look what you did. So that sort of thing. But I would love to know more about them.
Which I think we'll get in this. I don't know if there are any comics or books about them off the top of my head. Because they're not the newest concept, but they're still a fairly fresh...
being fleshed out.
Yeah, because, for a bit in Rebels, effectively, they were introduced as cannon fodder. Oh, look, there's a new Inquisitor who just died. And in the comics, it's the same way as well, to a small degree. Like, there's a great series in Vader where the Imperials invade Mon Calamari, and a bunch of Inquisitors wind up dead. Again, they're just kind of cannon fodder.
Kind of seemed like they were culling out the weak ones, Right.
Well, and in the Clone Wars TV series, I hated the Mon Calamari arc they did.
Me too! It was so boring! It took forever!
Yeah, I was like, alright, I'm bored. Yay, you mentioned Akbar. We know Akbar's in Clone Wars now. Yay.
Yep, okay, right. Exactly.
But when they went back and did it in the comics, I'm like, ooh,
that was interesting.
Now, I will say this, it only worked for me because I had the background from Clone Wars.
Yeah. And I liked the bit with Tarkin. I really liked, because I had just listened to Tarkin, so it was interesting to get that piece of his mindset about what we destroy and what we don't destroy. Like, he didn't want to destroy the planet. He didn't want to destroy all the cities, because those are resources. He's not stupid. He's not, he's not evil, even, I don't think. He just like, well, we can't be stupid here. But I thought that was really interesting.
He's precise in his military application of things. Mm-hmm. In a horrific way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's the easiest way to put it.
He might be a little evil.
He's not a little evil. He's evil.
Yeah.
But he's classy evil. Like, hey, before I execute you, let's sit down and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
I might have poisoned the tea and you're going to die at the end of this, but let's sit down and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Although I don't see him poisoning people.
Does he get along with Thrawn? Oh, no, he doesn't meet Thrawn. Yes, he does. He meets Thrawn.
I don't think they... I think he meets Thrawn, but I think that's all in Legends. I don't know if they've done anything with that in canon. I
don't mind talking about Legends. That's fine. I like Legends as well.
Well, I know, but with what they're doing with Thrawn right now...
Oh, I see.
That's why I'm like, I don't know. Alright, so can we get back to Obi-Wan?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Because we need to talk what we're hoping for. We really do. And we've skirted around this and you've diverted. All right. So we're hoping for more out of the Inquisitors, a little more of who they are, what's going on, the background, which I think we'll get. That's fair.
Yeah.
But what else do you want?
Well, we want to see how involved Obi-Wan is in Luke's life. It's kind of alluded to in the trailers that he is more involved than we think, and he's sort of shut down by Lars. Lars?
Yeah.
Owen.
Owen Lars.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Does he ever meet Luke? That sort of thing. How much of a recluse is he, and at what point does he start being the recluse he is by the time Star Wars A New Hope begins? Yeah.
I don't know if he's... There's an implication in Rebels Well, yeah, it is Rebels. But there's an implication that Obi-Wan isn't as reclusive as we've come to believe. Like, he occasionally gets out, but when he gets out, it's always in the shadows. Mm-hmm. That he's always behind the scenes somewhere, some way. Because even in Rogue One, it's hinted at, and it's kind of hinted at, that the person handling and connecting Obi-Wan into the grander rebellion is... I'm entirely blanking. Organa. Bail Organa. There it is.
Huh.
Because in Rogue One, he and Mon Mothma are having a conversation, and, well, could your friend, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, help with this? And, it's the setting off of that journey of Princess Leia on the Tantive 4 and going to Tatooine to try and get Obi-Wan into resolving the Death Star.
Yeah.
So...
Cool.
There's an implication that he isn't just a recluse, but that he's very shadowy in the background of the rebellion. Because, that would be a big name to be like, oh, look, we got Obi-Wan. And Darth Vader shows up. Mm-hmm. The Inquisitors show up. That's a trump card you keep up your sleeve. And if you use it, you do so cautiously, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yoda is the one that I think of more as the recluse. And the implication
true.
is Yoda has gone into a self-exile, not really told anyone where he is. He's just, no, I screwed this up. I'm out.
Yes.
So, Obi-Wan, and I think we're going to see that in Obi-Wan, where he's out there somehow.
And he's been given a mission.
Some of the legwork.
He has been given a mission. That's why he's there. So Obi-Wan would not just be sitting in his hut, like, figuring out the different uses for bantha poop. Like, he'd be... he would be doing everything he could all the time, without sleeping, without resting. He would be doing everything he could. Because that's who Obi-Wan is.
So one of those things that I'm really hoping we see, that is Obi-Wan going and figuring things out. I'm hoping we see him recruiting people to the rebellion.
Yeah, cool.
And I'm hoping one of those people, really hoping, is Mace Windu. No?
Wait. Because he's not dead? Because he didn't die? People think he didn't die?
We have established that Jedi can jump out of things just outside of orbit, survive the fall with Jedi Force trick thingies, and not die. And you want to tell me that Mace Windu got his hands cut off and just went, oh, I'm going to die now. You believe that?
Nobody ever dies from falling in Star Wars, by the way.
No, nobody ever dies. Even when you do die, you don't die.
Yeah. So I buy that.
Okay?
Yeah.
I want to see, and Samuel L. Jackson has even, posted online, I'm ready. Give me the call. I'll come back.
Yeah.
And we've already established that, hey, we have working your cybernetic hands, so
yeah,
we don't even need to go far on that. I'm really hoping out of Obi-Wan we get an answer to that is, yes, Mace Windu is alive. Okay, fine. Maybe we kill him off by the end of the series, because how does he fit? into the larger canon, I'm okay with that.
Right.
But, well, you know, if you want to really... you could, in theory, get Mace Windu past episodes 4, 5, and 6 if he lays low with the rebellion, and have it so that he appears again in Book of Boba Fett 2 or Mandalorian Season 3.
Maybe.
You could have it that we finally get a moment of Boba Fett and Mace Windu settling the score. Old man Mace Windu, older Boba Fett.
You know what's really interesting? So, you know
You're
how
ignoring me.
Palpatine controlled things so much and clouded the Force?
Yes.
What would happen, like, for Mace Windu, let's say? I'm not... Mace Windu.
You and I don't have the same level of excitement on this.
Probably not.
Because I'm like, yes, Mace Windu, back. Yes, alive. And you're like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I don't... yeah. Well, but if Mace Windu... but listen to me, listen. So,
All right.
Palpatine is clouding the Force. He's so powerful that he's clouded the Force for years and years and years and years and years, okay? Let's say Mace Windu didn't die. Palpatine dies. Or, no, Palpatine doesn't die.
He does die, but he doesn't die. Palpatine dies.
Does he stop?
Transfers his spirit to Exegol and lives in a deformed clone body and has to be put on all the life support thingies so he doesn't deteriorate.
Right. But does he feel, once he takes power and becomes the Emperor, is he still wielding control and clouding the Force, or does he feel like he doesn't have to do that anymore because all the Jedi are dead? You know? And if not, does Windu have, like, a moment of clarity where he sees things he missed before? Because his super Jedi power is supposed to be that he can, like, tell what's important in the Force, like, where things come together, so he knows how to, accomplish things in a special way successfully because of his Jedi Force powers. They explain that in the book Shatterpoint. Like, his ability to see, like, how all the cracks and crevices come together in a diamond, so you know, like, the point on a diamond to hit so the diamond shatters. Like, he knows the shatter point of things. That's his power. But if the Force was clouding things before that, and then so when Mace goes through the window, Palpatine becomes Emperor, and now he's in power, is he sort of so powerful that he doesn't feel like he has to maintain the same amount of control over the cloudiness in the Force? Is that still in effect?
One of the implications they've made with what the Force is and how the Force works in the whole thing is that, there's a flow to it. And so I think the answer to that may be that has just moved past where Palpatine could influence it in a way to cloud it. Mm-hmm. Because it seems to kind of go back and forth and you know, they talk about balance and the Force is not in balance. And so with what you're saying, there's a part of me that kind of goes, I think where the balance of the Force is not in an area where Palpatine could cloud it anymore. Yeah. Or if he could, it didn't have the same potency. And some of that may be, you know, well, the Jedi Order has fallen, so the massive users of the Force aren't there anymore, and I don't know.
Be interesting, like what...
They've always made it a little sketchy on what exactly and how exactly it works, and so I don't know.
It'd be cool to see his thought process and what do all the Jedi feel after that, and what can they sense, and do their powers grow in a way, or do they get clarity, or is that only when Palpatine actually dies? Later, does it become clearer or something? Interesting. I don't know.
Well, I mean, within the story arcs, when Palpatine dies, at the hand of Vader in Episode 6, balance is now brought to the Force. Anakin Skywalker, the prophesied one, has brought balance to the Force. He has been on the dark side, he's been on the light side, and he's found the gray zone and brought balance. One of the things that, again, within Star Wars, there's the idea of the gray Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think they're putting them as the ones who are in balance with the Force, rather than just being, as we understand, gray zone, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I want to see Mace Windu come back. I think that would be great if they did that in Obi-Wan. I think that's the moment to do it. The other area they could do it, technically, is possibly Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Which they've just started recording. Now you're getting excited.
I like Ahsoka a lot better than Mace Windu.
Oh my gosh.
Mace Windu
She's your Jedi, isn't she?
Yeah, Mace Windu is just... Ugh.
Who is your Jedi? Like, if you could be any of the Jedi characters in Star Wars, who's the Jedi you would be?
Ahsoka is pretty kick-ass.
So it would be Ahsoka.
I think so, yeah. Yep.
Obi-Wan. I love Obi-Wan. It would be Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Well, he's the magic space wizard that introduces the whole thing that you're like, what? And having grown up and watched it before the prequels came out, I mean, there is something to Episode 4 where you have Obi-Wan, who is this great mystery, dies, and then becomes an even bigger mystery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, I'm sold. And then they bring in Ewan McGregor, and he does Episodes 1, 2, and 3. And he does it well.
Yeah. But, do we know what happens to Ahsoka after, we last see her in Clone Wars?
So she survived Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, no. Because the cruiser crash lands on that planet. She ditches her lightsabers, and the next time we see her in anything canon is, what is that? That's The Mandalorian?
No, she's in
No,
Rebels.
Rebels.
Yeah.
You're right.
I didn't like her in Rebels. I was like, what?
Really?
That's not Ahsoka. Yeah, she wasn't acting like Ahsoka at all.
See, I didn't mind her in Rebels.
Why did she ditch her lightsabers?
Because they were the ones that Anakin gave her.
See, I would not have ditched my lightsabers. That was Anakin's. Like Anakin is still in there. Anakin is still in there somewhere, and I would have kept them.
But you got to think, in Ahsoka's story arc, to her, Anakin is gone. He's dead.
But how could she?
There is no. How could she?
I don't know.
Remember, everyone gives up on Anakin. Obi-Wan gives up on Anakin. Anakin is dead. It's Darth Vader, okay?
Yeah.
Ahsoka gives up on Anakin. It's Darth Vader. Even when she fights him in the temple in Rebels.
Oh, that was a good... I liked her in that episode, yeah. That was good.
And even when she discovers that it is Anakin who is Darth Vader, she still sees him as dead.
Why do you think that?
Because they gave up on him.
But how do you know that? Why do you think that?
I don't know that, but that's the speculation I have, that it's... They have seen the amount of evil and destruction that he is capable of, so he's dead. I mean, think of one of the most irredeemable people you could, okay?
Mm.
And then they come back to you as the nice guy. Can you look at them and be like, yeah, no, it's okay that you were a serial killer?
That doesn't mean
it's okay.
That doesn't mean it's okay. It just means you're still in there. You're still in there somewhere. You know, like you're not dead. You're in there. You're trapped, or you're deceived. You're lied to. But you're still smushed down in there somewhere.
But even with Anakin being deceived, he still killed younglings in the Jedi Temple. I mean, there's that horrifyingly dark scene where he walks into the room with younglings. Master Anakin, is it okay? Are we safe? Zing, and a bunch of younglings die. How do you redeem that?
I don't even believe it. I have a hard time even believing that he would do that. Like, it's hard to fathom that he would do that. But I guess that's besides the point.
Well, hold on. I'll admit this one, too. I do have a degree of skepticism on that. Like, if I was writing that moment, this is the horrifying way my brain works. If I was writing that moment, I would have been like, okay, bring in the clone troopers, and now we're sticking kids in cages, hauling them off so that Darth Sidious can turn them into Dark Jedi.
Right. That's more believable.
It's dark, but it's not kids
Kill
are being
all the
killed.
children.
We're just gonna, that's like how I would have written it, but that's me. That's
yeah. Maybe
also,
that's
like,
the failure of the writing of the story overall. It's like, it's
not a failure of writing, because when you sit with that and you're like, okay, we're sitting with Clone Wars, which came out after Episode 3, and Clone Wars actually helps to flesh out the character of Anakin a lot better. So in Episodes 2 and 3, Hayden Christensen's character of Anakin makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a love... I think I've asked this before. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
No.
Okay. It's a show that you're like, I'm rooting for the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm truly rooting for the evil bad guy, but I want to see him succeed. And that's kind of where you get with Anakin Skywalker because of Clone Wars, and then because of what Hayden did in Episodes 2 and 3. And that's why that scene, as stark and harsh as it is, needs to be there. And I don't think it's a failure of writing. I think it is that reality check of, no, he is, we may love him, but he is the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
You watched Rogue One, okay? The first time you watched Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay, so get that in your memory. You remember the first time you watched Rogue One?
I guess so. I'm probably missing details, so you'll probably have to remind me what exactly you're talking about.
We're going to talk Darth Vader. Rogue One, okay? The first time you see Darth Vader, do you remember that in Rogue One?
Well, they're putting his helmet on him. Somebody, he's in his chamber.
Tank and yeah, he's in the tank. He's got all his limbs off. And then he walks out as Vader, and he interacts with Kresik. And it doesn't feel like Vader. Like how I felt like that scene was, it felt like Sleepy Vader. Where it was, okay, it's Vader. Yay, we've had screen time. But at the end of Rogue One, how did you feel when those lights went off in the hall as they're trying to get the Death Star plans to the Tantive 4, and you hear the...
Right, yeah.
How did you feel in that moment?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. We've got to watch a movie together and, like...
Excited?
Capture the emotion of the moment.
Like it's all coming around? Movies. I don't know. I don't know what I was feeling. I think you're very in touch with your feelings.
In the words of my youth pastor, every youth director has an internal Fabio who is just very expressive and can be like, hello, this is what you need to think and feel. I'm going to delete that section. But no, you need to be... Not you need to be. I like to watch movies because they're telling me a story and they want me to think and feel and interact with that story in a certain way. Okay? And Star Wars does that. And yes, it's been getting refined over the years. So I have excitement looking to Obi Wan, the series coming up, because they're going to want me to think and feel and react in a very certain way. And they're playing on years of history. Years. They're playing on, let's see, Star Wars celebrates 40, 50 years? 40 years? 40 years, 72. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing that math? I don't know. 72, 82, 92, 20, 2002, 30, 40, 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because it came out in 72, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're celebrating 50 years. That's not right.
Well, anyway, go on. Let's keep talking.
No, I'm agitated. I want to know the release date. 77, 45 years. They're celebrating 45 years. Okay? Of history that they're going to start combining in Obi-Wan. That they're going to play on. How did you feel about Obi-Wan in the prequels? How did you feel about Obi-Wan in the main trilogy? How did you feel about Obi-Wan in Clone Wars, in Rebels? And they're putting it right in the middle of everything at this inflection point that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And telling more story, and they want you to interact with it in a certain way. It's why at the end of Rogue One, they want you to interact with Darth Vader in a very certain and particular way.
Well, if
they
you mean...
need that larger-than-life evil. And that's what you get in that hallway scene. That's what you get when the darkness falls and the lightsaber lights up, and Vader is just a tank.
So what is
going
that?
Down the hall.
Sorry, but
What
this
do you
is
mean,
weird.
what is
You're
that?
being weird. Is this a feeling?
How am I being weird?
Identify the
This
feeling.
is a feeling.
What feeling?
Oh,
what is the feeling?
The feeling, it's excitement and dread.
Okay, well, great.
Because
Yes,
again,
that's what I felt. I understand.
You have a love for this bad guy.
Right.
And you want to see this bad guy being the bad guy, but you really don't want to see this bad guy being the bad guy. Because if you're invested in the story, you know Darth Vader comes back around. You know Darth Vader is redeemed at the end of Return of the Jedi. But at the same time, you want to see him being a bad guy. And in the prequels, you know Anakin has to become the bad guy, but you want to see him be the good guy. You want to see him save the planet, save the people who need his help, to fight the evil robots and the Confederate independent systems or whatever it was. But you have to get to those points that are, yeah, he kills all the younglings. How did we get here?
Because you started talking about how I felt about things, and I don't think I've really sat down and identified what do I feel during this scene. I don't know. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I do feel things when I watch movies. I do feel things. It's just, I don't think that closely. I don't sit and watch me think about movies. I just watch the movies and feel things, I guess. Like, I don't watch myself watch the movie. I watch the movie, and I guess I subtly feel things. Like, I feel what I'm supposed to feel. It's just, I guess I couldn't have identified. You ask me strange questions sometimes that I don't know how to answer. And it makes me sound like I don't have feelings. But I do. I just don't know how to identify them sometimes.
That's fair. Sorry,
You've obviously thought about this a lot. I broke my pen.
You got that excited. All right, so I think, yeah, all right. This is the danger of running a podcast with someone who is a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want you to think through how you feel. I want you to think through what's there. And maybe I get a little too excited and okay, I get a little too excited and I feel like you're missing 99% of what they're doing to you when you don't understand that. It's not the right way, but it's the passionate spot that I love in storytelling.
If it didn't hit that spot, I wouldn't watch it. Like, if it didn't hit me in the spot, because it's not the spaceships that I like. It's not, like, the cool planets. It's not the costumes. It's not the guns. It's the characters. I love the characters of Star Wars. I love the tragedy. I love the Shakespeare of it all. I love it. So, I get it. That's what I like about it, too. But I don't know. I guess that's where I'll leave that. I'm not sure where to go from there. But I get hit there too. It's just different, or maybe I don't know how to explain it, or I'm not sure.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
You might hate me for this.
What?
What story are the ships, guns, and lightsabers telling in Star Wars?
I did not say I did not like them. I said that's not why I'm watching it.
I know. I didn't say that, oh, you need to love the ships and be total geek about the ships. But, like, what story are they telling in Star Wars? Have you ever thought about that? Okay, so for everyone listening, Lindsay is hanging her head and staring at me like I am a madman and insane, which is probably
I
true.
kind of think that you could take the story of Star Wars, scoop out all the characters, and put it somewhere else in an entirely different setting. And it would still tell the same tragic story with a different background. You know, it doesn't have to be, it's a space opera. It's a space opera.
It is.
So, but no, I have no idea, like, as far as, okay, lightsabers and kyber crystals, that stuff's all cool, but it's kind of like, it could be set in Harry Potter world. Really, it could be set in Harry Potter world. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be space, it doesn't have to be spaceships. It's like...
It doesn't, but here's the point I was getting at, all right?
Yeah.
The visual images, they created in such a way, with the ships, with the weapons, with the laser bolts, to make it so that you are, in subtle ways, being influenced to who's good and who's bad.
Yeah, obviously. Colors and costumes and... Is that what you're saying? Like, visual symbolism.
Size. Right. You know, you get the Imperials, who are very strict in geometrical feeling. And then you get the Rebels, who have this organic feel. You get who is the middle ground character of he's good, but he's bad, and we really want to say he's bad, but we also want to be, you know, he's good, and we want to love him. Han Solo, who has a ship that is organic and lined and doesn't fit, who shoots first, but asks questions. So even the visuals of the ships and the items have a storytelling means that they're using and incorporating in another subtle level. Right. But it's with intention.
And I don't disagree.
Gone off of the hopes for Obi-Wan.
That's because you're weird.
I am not weird. You're weird.
No, you're not. I get you.
No, I'm weird. I know I'm weird. All right. To me, it's about the story, and I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan because I think they've got a lot of inflection points that they're going to hopefully start drawing out. Like, I would love to see Obi-Wan give us a little more answers, or maybe even an in-person live-action Thrawn.
You just keep circling Thrawn.
I want Thrawn.
Yeah.
I want answers to Ezra Bridger and Thrawn. And I don't care about Ezra as much as I care about Thrawn.
Mm-hmm. You'll get him in Ahsoka, I think.
Right, but I mean, Obi-Wan is an area where you could throw him in as a teaser, as a, look, this is coming, we haven't forgotten. So you could throw in a younger Thrawn, pre-Rebels, who isn't,
Admiral?
because he gets promoted, no, doesn't he get promoted to Grand Moff? He's one of, like, 3 Grand Moffs.
Yep.
So you could throw in a younger Thrawn who's still climbing those ranks.
Mm-hmm.
You could bring back Mace Windu. I want to bring back Mace Windu. Please.
Mm.
I mean, even again, if it's just snippets to, okay, we've brought Mace Windu back, you know it, you've had 10 seconds of it, and we'll draw it out later in Book of Boba Fett Season 2. And we finally have a conclusion to Mace Windu Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
So... Mm. I mean, there's even poetic speculation you can offer there of maybe there's forgiveness between Boba Fett and Mace. Maybe Mace cuts off Boba's head. Maybe Boba cuts off Mace's head, you know?
Oh,
Could
yeah.
have fun.
Right.
Yeah, see? Because it was Mace who killed Django, his father, and tension.
Yes.
I mean, they brought back Cad Bane.
There's hope.
That was a character that I was fairly certain was dead.
Mm.
So, yes, I have a lot of hope for the Obi-Wan series.
I have a dumb question. Where's Asajj Ventress? What happened to her? Did she die? I forget. She's not dead?
I think the comics... there was a comic that drew out a bit more about what happened to her, but as far as I know, no. I mean, she's a bounty hunter.
She is, yeah, right. Okay, well, I wouldn't mind seeing her. I really liked her. And I think there's hope for her for redemption.
Well, they started that with...
Ahsoka?
when Ahsoka was on trial in the Jedi Temple. They started that a bit, and yes, there's a couple novels and comic books.
You see her in Lost. It's called
But those are all legends.
Jedi Lost. She's in that. She's kind of almost the one telling the story in a way, and she's really interesting. Very broken and lonely and sad. And I think she could be rescued.
I don't know.
I liked her.
She's another one who would be good to bring back. Ooh, it would be good to have some closures too. So, Dark Disciple. So she's in a book, Dark Disciple.
Oh, she is.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing her reappear again. So she would be a good one as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, alright. I think we stop here.
I think so, too.
With our weaving and bobbing and speculative.
People will love
Watch Obi-Wan. It's coming out this week. But also, some exciting news that I'm going to draw back to you being scammed.
Yes.
So, a week ago, right before we recorded, I got an email. Remember the email?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I emailed it to you, which I didn't. I was like, hey, this is interesting, but I'm not sure if this guy's a scammer. But I sent it to the person. So, that's me blundering.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan was the guy, and I got a chance to talk with him in this week, and he and I have talked a couple times through text, and he's going to come on and join us next week and talk Star Wars.
That's crazy. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited because he started into Star Wars because of the podcast, where he wasn't a big fan, and then he's gone in and watched, and so it'll be neat to talk with him about that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So Dylan is going to join us next week, and it'll be neat to get someone who is walking into Star Wars with a bit more of a new set of eyes and perspective. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Good. Me too.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. So, Dylan, looking forward to having you on next week. And, yeah. Oh, and I'm forgetting. If you follow us on Facebook or want to follow us on Facebook, there's now a group for us to all interact and chat in that Lindsay doesn't want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
But if you Facebook search the 42ERS, you'll find the 42ers. And we're just getting it up and running a bit. But join us, have fun, interact. And hey, we're always willing to have you on.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun stuff.
Okay, we love you. Bye-bye.
See ya.